Have you had a look at behavioral genetics much? So
No.
it's how heritable a lot of the traits that we have, especially psychologically, are. So there's this guy called Robert Plomans. He did the biggest twin study ever in history. It was every twin born between, I think, 1991 and 1994 in the UK. He invited them to be a part of this study. It's something like 60,000 pairs of twins that he did. And what he was trying to do was he was trying to tease apart the difference between nature and nurture. How much of what we are is because of our genetics and how much of what we are is because of our environment. And the only way that you can really do this is with identical twins. And what you can do is identical twins that get put up for adoption, you get to use the same genetics, but you split test what happens in terms of the environment. And dude, the amount of impact that our genes have on us is absolutely terrifying. Pretty much 50% of everything that you are psychologically is because of your genes. 50%.
Wow. So if your father's a psychopath and your mother's a psychopath.
Oh, psychopathy may be even more heritable. I mean, so everyone would accept the fact that height is pretty heritable, right? I think it's about 0.9, so 90% is the correlation between you and your parents. Weight is, I want to say 50%. There'll be a chart that we could get on the internet of how heritable Robert Plomans' work says everything is. But stuff like depression, alcoholism, all of this stuff is super, super highly heritable. And people don't like this because in a world that's a meritocracy, you want to believe that you can be anything that you dream to be, right? If the people that are successes are worthy of their successes, then what does that mean the people who fail are? Well, they're worthy of their failures. But this genetic research would suggest that there's a lot of restrictions that get placed on people before they actually end up even stepping onto the field of play. And that makes people feel very uncomfortable. It's, just around the corner from talking about eugenics. It's just around the corner of talking about determinism, that there's racial differences in IQ, all of this sort of stuff. It's in the same region as some pretty touchy subjects that nobody wants to go close to. But when you're talking about psychopathy, a lot of that is coming through. Yeah, maybe it's activated in the environment, but a lot of this needs to be triggered in the parents. And you go, well, that's a difficult situation to work out who's morally responsible. Is the psychopath morally responsible? Well, how responsible?
Yeah, that determinism argument, the version of, or the argument rather, of free will versus determinism is when it's very compelling when you get down to the bottom of it and you really start thinking about, like, how much free will do you really have? And what does that mean? Are you a combination of all of your life experiences plus your genetics, or are you an individual with choices that you can make in the moment right now? Do the right thing. Like, is that possible? Like, who are you? Are you a person, or are you a conglomeration of ideas and thoughts and genetics? And how much will and how much control do you have over the things you say and the things you do?